I just casually burned my whole entire bookshelf down. Imagine. Hello. I took a shower. I got a nightgown on, and then I decided I want to talk about books. So spring is here, sort of. It was 90 degrees today, and it was like 50 degrees like 2 days ago. So hard launch into warm weather. I hate spring, honestly. I'm not a huge fan. It's my least favorite season, but I love the aesthetic of spring. I love flowers and all the like girly associations of spring, you know, cottagecore and balletcore and all the cores. And I love, you know, not having seasonal depression. That's always a plus. I thought I would compile a spring TBR of books that I want to get to this season, because I love reading books according to seasons. So these books, they're my TBR, so obviously I have not read them. This is not like a spring suggestion video. It's just books that I kind of picked out mainly based on the cover of what I looked at and was like, ooh, that's springy. Or if I knew they had like some spring themes in them. Those are the type of books that I picked out. So don't watch this video in terms of like suggestions, just like watch it for like pretty covers and for my TBR. I don't know. I don't know why I'm explaining this so much. I'm just gonna shut up right now. Okay, let's start. We're gonna start with the most obvious one that I think would be on literally everybody's spring TBR or like suggestion video, and that is of course the Anne of Green Gables series. I have not read any of these. I got this like a year ago and I just have not read them. I vividly remember buying this because it was a set on Amazon, and it was around last spring that I bought it. And I had a little night out, and one too many drinks were had. And what do I do when I get a little loose? I buy things, and specifically books. So that is how this pack of 8 Anne of Green Gables series came into my possession, and now it's here and I haven't read it, and I just think it is definitely time to at least read the first one. I need to put them down. This is a lot. But yeah, there's 8 in the series, at least of the series that I bought. But my goal is just to read this girl, Anne of Green Gables. This is like the epitome of spring cottagecore vibes. She's just like a little girl living her life at Green Gables. That's all I know of it. And I know that it's very spring, so it's on the list. Next, we have another classic that is another like epitome of spring, and I have never read this, and that is The Secret Garden. Obviously I've never read it. This is a TBR. Anyway, this is The Secret Garden, which is a children's story. And I remember in like elementary school, a few people read this and I didn't. And I don't know why. But, you know, it's never too late. And I'm gonna pick it up now, this year. Obviously Secret Garden, like garden, hello, spring. Not much to say else about it. Yeah. Garden, spring, flowers, vibes. You probably know what this is better than I do. I don't know why I'm in such a weird mood. I just knew that I like had to film this video, because if not, I would have just sat on my couch and scrolled on Whatnot. You guys know that? You guys know that platform? If you don't, I'm sorry that I just told you about it, and because if you download it, you're gonna become addicted. It's my latest dopamine fix on my little rectangular little device called an iPhone, and I have bought way too much stuff on it, including this slip nightgown dress that's actually very cute. Next we have Honeys, or The Honeys. Yes, The Honeys. And this one I bought specifically because of the cover a while ago. Like, hello? Is she not amazing? Like, the graphic designer went absolutely off on this. Oh my, I forgot about this. Look, I don't know if you can even see that, but it's honeycomb. Insane. It doesn't get more spring than that. This book, I don't exactly remember what it's about because I read the synopsis and I was confused, but somebody else talked about it, and so I impulsively bought it. I think I bought it at a sale. I think I bought it at Barnes & Noble's, like, buy 50% off hardcovers. You know that one big sale they do at the beginning of the year? I bought it at that, and all I knew was that it's kind of like inspired by Heathers, and I said that is all I need to know to buy a book or consume a movie. Then this one, I don't know if it fits in this video, honestly, but I am planning on reading it because I have said that I am gonna read it, and I feel like if I have the motivation right now to read it, and if I don't read it in the next coming months, I'm gonna take like 5 more years to read it, because that motivation will dwindle down. And that is this giant guy, The Priory of the Orange Tree. And this is, people describe it as like a, oh, look at that, so cool, like a feminist or sapphic Game of Thrones. I don't know, I'm kind of in my fantasy era, so yeah, it's huge, it's gigantic and very daunting, but I think this spring is when I'm gonna read it. And I have no idea if it takes place in spring. I kind of want to say it takes place in winter. I honestly don't know, but the cover is kind of giving spring. Me trying to justify why this is on the list. It's literally just on because I need to read it this spring before I lose motivation. Then I have this, which also has flowers on the cover because that is literally the defining factor of how I picked out most of these books, and that is the London Seance Society. And I love this author's books, Sarah Penner. I think the Lost Apothecary was the other book I read of hers, and I think that was a debut. And I loved it. It was like what got me back into reading as an adult. I don't know, I read like very like infrequently in college, and then out of college I started to get more into it, and that book really, it got me. So I really want to read this because it's her next book. And I don't really remember what it's about. I know it's like historical fiction mixed with contemporary, so it takes place in the 1800s and also in contemporary society, which is, I believe, what happened in the Lost Apothecary as well. So maybe I'm combining those two. Oh no. Okay, no, I think I was combining the last one with this. But it takes place in Victorian London. Yeah, no, it's definitely fully historical fiction. But it takes place in 1873 and in Victorian London, and 2 daring women hunt for truth and justice in the perilous art of conjuring the dead. Okay. And it's something about like a mystery of her sister dies and she's trying to find answers. So Don't know how springy that is, but like Victorian London, seances. No, seance would definitely be like fall vibes, but I just really want to read this, so it's on the list. Then I have The Clockmaker's Daughter. This is a book that I have been meaning to get to, and I'm definitely going to get to it soon because I've been reading books that have been on my shelf for literal years, and this is one of them. And partially picked this out because, again, the cover, it has little flowers and like a little clock, and it just looks very spring vibe. And I know this is a very popular book. I don't know what it's about, so there's that. Ooh, this also takes place in the mid 1800s. The little synopsis thing says, "My real name no one remembers. The truth about that summer no one else knows." This takes place in summer. Maybe this one shouldn't be on the list. Okay. Now you can see all the research I did for this video. Not a lot. Then I have I Kissed Shara Wheeler, and this one I picked out because there's little flowers on the side. You see the flowers? Yeah. I don't know if you saw that because I think it was kind of blurry, but oh, you can see this. Look at that. The lighting. Look at those flowers. And the little kisses. Oh, this is like the Barnes & Noble special edition or whatever. And yeah, this author has a lot of very popular books, and I have not read any of them. So I own this one, so I might as well get started with this one. And it's, I think, like a high school romance. A month before graduation, Shara kisses Chloe and vanishes. She ghosts her. So that's on the list. I feel like I don't have a lot of romances on this list, so that's why I went to my like romance section and looked, and I was like, this feels springy. Then, ooh, this is exciting. I bought recently the entire collection series of the Penderwigs. Do you guys know this? I brought it up to my work, and nobody knew what it was, and I think that's because I'm like the youngest one there, so either they're too old to have been into children's literature like at this time, or but their like kids are too young to be, you know what I mean? Anyway, do you guys know what this is? I don't know why I was reminded of this. I think I saw a post about it online or something, and I was like, I loved that book. This was my favorite little book as a kid, and I read it in like 3rd grade. Our teacher read it out loud to us at like story time, and I like vividly remember it. And I remembered the name Sky, and then I looked up and was like, is there a girl named Sky? And there is. So love that it's stuck in my head for like, I don't know, 15 years, and probably more than that. I can't do math right now, but yeah, this book was like just like in my head, and I was like, I want to read it again. Again, I picked this out because it is just like very much screaming spring. And then I read the little description, and it says a summer tale. So I might be saving this actually until summer. I don't know if the other ones take place only in summer though. I feel like they probably do. But their last name is the Marches, and that is in spring. So maybe it's fine. next, I thought I was kind of funny for putting this on the list, and that is Sheets. So this is a graphic novel about this little ghost who's a sheet in a laundromat. And why did I pick this out? Because spring cleaning. You see the connection? I thought that was very clever. Then, I don't know why, but as I was over there looking at my romances, then I grabbed this, Rock Bottom Girl. This is a soccer romance about a girl who's in her like 30s or late 20s, and she gets dumped and fired, as you do. Double whammy, and she goes back to her hometown and she starts dating this guy, and she starts working as the soccer coach, and then I think she starts dating like a teacher or something that they, I think, went to high school together. I don't know, I haven't read it, but that's the general premise. And for some reason soccer is giving spring to me. I don't even remember if it's a spring or fall sport, but I want to say spring. But I don't know because I didn't play soccer. So that's that. I just feel like soccer is very spring, like out of all the sports. Then I have a fantasy retelling, The Book of Gothel. This is a retelling of, I was about to say Frozen, not Frozen, Tangled, Rapunzel. Yeah, Mother Gothel, I think that's like her name. It's a retelling of like her backstory and all, and it takes place in 1156 Germany. And that sounds so interesting. Like, what is that, like medieval times era? I don't know, I'm so bad with periods and dates, but I thought this was very spring, very, like, I don't know, any sort of fairy tale kind of retelling I eat up, and just fairy tales, it's giving spring. Like, I feel like I don't have to say anything else. And this cover is just so good. This is one of my like impulse buys for like, I saw a pretty cover and I bought it, which happens way too often. Then we have Braiding Sweetgrass. This is a nonfiction about botany and how indigenous people use plants. And I mean, hello, spring, like gardening, botany, it makes sense. So yeah, looking forward to that. Now last but not least, I think this is probably the most springy book in here, and it's ginormous. The Tea Dragon Society. It's literally huge. I did not expect it to be this big because I ordered it off of Amazon. And this is just a little book. How cute. It's just a little like graphic novel kind of thing, but it's very short. Like, this is the total page. And yeah, I just really liked the illustrations in here. And I'm in my graphic novel era as well, which I never thought would happen, but here we are. How cute. So yeah, that is my little spring TBR. Decided on really nothing other than the covers and the vibes that they were giving. I feel like I have the pile of the books that I'm like, yes, this is successfully spring, and I have a separate pile of books that I now have found out take place in summer, and those will be pushed off till then. But yes, thank you for coming to this very impulsive, spur of the moment, spontaneous, that's the word, video. I did not plan on filming this today, but here we are. And yeah, let me know if you know any books that are like very spring vibes, whether you've read them or you've just, like me, seen a cover and gone, that's springy. Let me add it to my list. Let me know, because I love a good vibe. And yeah, it's like 11, so I'm gonna read for a bit and then go to bed because this brain needs sleep. So I'm gonna give it that. Bye, good night, good morning, good afternoon. See ya.